Hello everyone. This is Group J's video project and this video will be talking about the skin and a certain few diseases that affect it. Our skin is the largest organ in the human body and covers the entire external surface. It performs a wide variety of functions and lies in the realm of dermatology. It is the first line of defense against physical injuries, harmful chemicals, and microorganisms. The nerve endings in the skin allow us to feel numerous different sensations like touch, heat, cold, and pain. Plus, when we're exposed to sunlight, the skin helps produce vitamin D, which is vital for bone health.
The pigmentation of the skin depends on 5 factors that help determine the color of the skin in different parts of the body. These are melanin, melanoid, carotene, hemoglobin, oxyhemoglobin. For example, the skin in the palms and the soles have a much higher amount of keratin, making the skin thicker, and the lips are red due to a lack of keratin.
The skin is composed of the epidermis and the dermis, totaling a thickness anywhere from 0.5 to 3 millimeters. The epidermis is the superficial layer of stratified squamous epithelium that arises from the ectoderm. It is also the layer that we can see and touch. This part of the skin is responsible for giving rise to hair, sweat glands, the nails on our fingers, and also the sebaceous glands.
The epidermis is made up of the cornified zone and a deep germinative zone. Since the cells that are in contact with the outer environment constantly break down due to wear and tear, they are replaced by cells that migrate from the deepest layer via proliferation. It's also made up of cells called keratinocytes, which produce keratin. Melanocytes are also found in the germinative zone, which synthesize melanin.
Deeper to the epidermis, the dermis originates from the mesoderm and forms the vascular layer of the skin. It is made up of connective tissue and elastic fibers intertwined with blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, and nerves. It divides into the superficial papillary layer and deep reticular layer.
But as amazing as skin is, it can also develop problems. One of the most serious is skin cancer, which happens when skin cells grow uncontrollably. There are several types of skin cancer, but the focus of this group is on basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, and melanoma. Along with these skin cancers, we can also focus on one other disease common to many called eczema.
Eczema, also commonly but not always known as atopic dermatitis, is a chronic skin condition that causes inflammation, itching, and redness. The stratum corneum has a reduced level of natural moisturizing factors which contribute to dry, flaky skin. It follows a spongiotic tissue reaction pattern.
Basal cell carcinoma is one of the most common types of skin cancer to affect the skin. Also known as BCC, it originates in the basal cells, which are located in the lowest part of the epidermis. BCC often appears as a small shiny bump or a pinkish patch. It usually develops in areas exposed to the sun like the face and neck. BCC is primarily invasive locally, potentially affecting deeper structures such as muscle and bone.
Squamous cell carcinoma or SCC involves the proliferation of atypical squamous cells that invade the dermis, and it has the potential to metastasize, especially when arising in high-risk areas like the lips, ears, or genitals. Like BCC, it's often linked to sun exposure, but it can also appear in areas that have been burned, exposed to chemicals, or affected by chronic inflammation. Melanoma, also known as black tumor, is the most invasive skin cancer with the highest risk of death. Melanoma comes from skin cells called melanocytes, pigment-producing cells found at the basal layer of the epidermis. Anatomically, melanoma often follows the ABCDE pattern: asymmetry, border irregularity, color variation, diameter greater than 6 mm, and evolving characteristics. We hope this video was informative about the clinical aspects of anatomy of the skin.